Most people think retiring in Thailand is simple. Lower your costs, slow things down, and life just gets easier. And to be fair, a lot of the time it does. But here's what catches people off guard. After a few months, sometimes a year, you start to notice things you didn't expect. Not the obvious stuff, not the food, not the weather, not the prices. The things that actually change how your day-to-day life feels. Some of them are the reason people stay here long term, others are the reasons some quietly leave, and almost no one talks about them until you've already made the move. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the real surprises, the ones that only show up once this stops feeling like a holiday and starts feeling like real life. Let's start with the big gap, expectation versus reality. When most people picture retirement in Thailand, they imagine sunshine, cheap living, no stress, and endless relaxation. Maybe a beachfront condo or a slow rhythm of life that feels like a permanent vacation. That picture isn't wrong, but it's only the first layer. What people don't realize is that once the novelty fades and you settle into the routine, life here becomes something else entirely. It's slower, quieter, and in many ways more internal. You start reflecting more. You move at a gentler pace. There's less outside stimulation and more time alone with your own thoughts. The big surprise isn't the cost or the lifestyle upgrades, it's how Thailand changes you. Thailand doesn't just change your budget, it changes your lifestyle, your routines, even your outlook on what matters. One of the first surprises that hits people after they move is how quiet life gets. Back home, life is structured around obligations, work, family, appointments, errands. Every day has a timeline. In Thailand, that schedule disappears. You wake up, maybe grab a coffee, go for a walk, and suddenly it's noon, and you realize there's no real pressure to do anything. At first, that freedom feels incredible. It's peaceful, unstructured, you feel unshackled. But then this emptiness creeps in, the kind you don't expect. There's no one demanding your time, no deadlines, and if you move somewhere quieter, say outside of Pattaya or Hua Hin, that stillness multiplies. It can feel lonely, even a little disorientating. But here's the twist. Over time, that quiet becomes the best part. You start to love it. You rediscover what it means to slow down, to sit by the sea, to have a day with no agenda. It's one of those surprises that feels like a challenge at first, but later turns into one of the biggest rewards. Most retirees think Thailand's cheap. I'll need maybe $2,000 a month to be comfortable. But after a year, almost everyone realizes they'll spend less than planned, especially if you're living outside of the tourist areas. Not just because things are cheaper, but because your habits change. You're not buying clothes to impress anymore. You're not going out for expensive dinners every weekend. You don't need the same stuff. Your day-to-day life becomes simpler. Coffee at local spots, meals that cost a few dollars, routines built around the basics. And because there's less cultural pressure to consume, you'll stop chasing. You'll start living with less without even realizing it. Many people arrive budgeting for a Western lifestyle and then find they don't really want it anymore. That's when Thailand starts to shine, not just as a cheap place to live, but as a place where you naturally spend less because you simply need less. That's why so many retirees can stay here long term. It's not just a financial sustainability, it's lifestyle sustainability. Another huge factor that people underestimate is the healthcare. If you come from the US, Canada, the UK, or Australia, you're used to waiting lists, huge bills, or bureaucratic chaos. In Thailand, that part of life flips completely. Hospitals like Bangkok Hospital or Bumrungrad feel like resorts. You can walk in, be seen within an hour, get tests done the same day, and leave with your results. And the bill, usually less than a single insurance copay back home. But the real surprise isn't just the cost, it's what it does to your peace of mind. Knowing that you can get care easily, affordably, and quickly changes the way you think about aging. You stop worrying so much, and that reduction in stress, that sense of security, impacts everything: your sleep, your outlook, your quality of life. Healthcare in Thailand isn't perfect, but for most retirees, it's a revelation, and it quietly reshapes how you approach getting older, not with fear, but with calm. This one sneaks up slowly. At first, you think every day will be full of exploration: temples, beaches, street markets, maybe a few weekend trips. And for a while, it is. Then one day, your life settles into routine. You go to the same coffee shop, the same local market. You take walks at the same time. You greet the same faces. And that becomes your world. At first, you might think, is this it? But give it time. That sameness becomes comfort. You start realizing routine is the lifestyle. It's not boring, it's grounding. There's a rhythm to it. And in that rhythm, you'll find something that's missing for many retirees back home: contentment. Routine becomes your new kind of freedom. If there's one area that surprises almost every retiree, it's the social side. Thailand has a strong expat community, but it isn't always automatic. Outside busy hubs like Pattaya or Chiang Mai, you don't just stumble into the big social circles. Relationships here grow slower, but definitely deeper. You might spend weeks or months before really connecting with people beyond a casual chat at the cafe. It's not isolation, it just takes more effort and patience. And when those friendships do form, they often feel more genuine, less transactional, more rooted in shared experience and trust. The surprise is that you can feel both incredibly peaceful and a bit detached here. But that solitude can also push you to build the kind of friendships that actually matter. Everyone knows Thailand is hot, but until you live here, you don't realize how much the climate reshapes your routine. You wake up earlier. Mornings are the most active part of the day. Walks, markets, errands, exercise. By midday, the heat takes over and everything slows down. Afternoons become quiet. Nap time, reading, maybe air-conditioned downtime. Evenings come alive again, but in a slower, gentler way. It's not bad. In fact, it teaches you to listen to your body, to rest, to slow down when nature says so. The heat isn't the enemy, it's just part of the rhythm. And once you stop fighting it, you start moving with it, and life gets easier. One of the most beautiful shifts happens gradually. You stop living like a foreigner. At first, you seek out imported groceries, Western restaurants, familiar comforts. Over time, that fades. You start eating Thai food daily, shopping at local markets. You learn the faces of the vendors who sell your fruit. You start thinking in baht, not dollars or pounds. Life gets simpler, cheaper, and more connected. And with that closeness to local life comes a quiet pride that you're not just passing through anymore, you're part of something. It's not about going native, it's about finding balance. You become less of a tourist, more of a resident, maybe even a neighbor. This one catches a lot of people off guard. Thailand isn't one experience. Living in Pattaya isn't like living in Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai isn't like living in Hua Hin. Hua Hin isn't like Phuket. Pattaya is busy, social, full of nightlife and community. Hua Hin is balanced, enough activity, but still peaceful. Chiang Mai is slower, more introspective, and inland. The mistake many make is thinking Thailand is a single lifestyle. But in truth, most frustrations come from location mismatches. If you're craving peace, but move somewhere buzzing, you'll feel overwhelmed. If you want community, but settle somewhere quiet, you'll feel isolated. Choosing the right place matters far more than choosing the right country. This is maybe the most profound shift of all. Over time, you realize you don't need much. Not space, not things, not plans. Your home gets smaller, your possessions fewer, but you don't feel deprived. You feel lighter. You stop comparing. You stop thinking in terms of more. Satisfaction becomes your baseline. This natural form of minimalism happens quickly, not through effort, but through living simply. And that simplicity doesn't feel like sacrifice, it feels like clarity. Here's the truth that most people won't say. Retiring in Thailand isn't for everyone. Some people get bored. Some miss structure or purpose. Some love it for the first 2 years and then quietly leave. And that's okay. It's better to be honest than to pretend every retiree thrives here. Thailand works best for people who can slow down, who don't need constant stimulation, who find joy in simplicity and routine. If you come here chasing excitement, you might burn out. If you come here looking for peace, you might find something you didn't know you were missing. That's the balance, and it's different for everyone. When you step back, all these surprises have something in common. Thailand isn't just cheaper, it's different. It invites you to live with less, to slow down, to notice. It's not about reinventing your life, it's about rediscovering what a good life actually feels like. The people who do best here aren't the ones chasing something new. They're the ones who are comfortable with less, who see simplicity not as loss, but as freedom. That's the surprising truth about retiring in Thailand. It's not a lifestyle upgrade, it's a lifestyle redefinition. And most of the time, that's the part people don't expect. So if you were to live here, what do you think would surprise you the most? The quiet, the heat, the simplicity? Drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed today's video, just do me a massive favor. Just press that subscribe button. It's free on the channel if you enjoy this kind of content. And I'll see you on the next one, guys.